Hey guys, Came for 15, joined by my Uncle Daryl, and we're back on Came for 15 Talk Sports here to give our NFL, recap of last week, just going through the games, and then our predictions for week number 10 this week. But last week was some pretty solid football. Again, we're not going to go in depth with all the games unless there's something we just need to talk about, but that's kind of it. Thursday night game last week was the Eagles versus the Texans. Eagles pretty much handled their business against the Texans, kind of.
Like we said,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we both went Philly, so right now we're both tied at 1-0, 1-0. Next was Dolphins versus Chicago Bears in a game that was a lot closer than I thought it was. If you want to get my breakdown of the game, go check it out in the video or on the channel. We give our thoughts on what we thought the Bears did and everything. Justin Fields by far had his best game. My thing with the Dolphins is it's a good win, but you have to wonder, like, it seems like these mobile quarterbacks really bite them in the foot a lot. Now, albeit they have a chance to go out there and go win the division with the fact that Josh Allen seems like he has a UCL injury right now and he's going to be out a couple of weeks. So, I think I think it was a good one by the Dolphins. They needed the win, and yeah.
Dolphins are gonna have problems if Tua can't throw down the field. So he has some serious issues with accuracy down the field. And the Bears didn't exploit that. So we'll see how they act moving forward.
Yep.
But in that division, the Jets are the ones that, for me, has the advantage of Josh Allen being out.
Yeah. We both went Miami, so we're both 2-0. The next game from last week was the Chargers versus Falcons. That was a lot closer game than well, actually I think I did say the game would be a close game. But the funny thing is the way the game ends is the Chargers have the ball, they're driving. They fumble the ball. Falcons pick it up. Only for the Falcons defender who picked up the fumble to fumble the ball back to the Chargers.
That's just case in point. I'm trying to do too much with the football instead of just falling on it. In basketball, we call that hero ball.
Yep.
But when you do that in the NFL, hero ball in the NFL either gets you hurt or benched. So the thing to do is just secure the ball. Possession is more important than making a play in that particular instance. And it came and it burned the Falcons.
Yeah. It also sucks the fact that they lost this week as well. I know we didn't give our predictions for that week, so I'm just gonna put that game.
I thought. Wait a minute, I thought we picked the. I know I picked the Falcons. I thought.
I didn't give any. I didn't give any picks. If you picked the Falcons,
I thought I picked the Falcons, and I thought you picked the Chargers.
Oh, for the Chargers, I picked the Chargers. You picked the Falcons.
Right.
I was talking about like Thursday's game.
Thursday's.
Yeah, we didn't do a pick. So
I gotta admit, I wouldn't have.
Yeah,
I wouldn't know who to pick for that game.
Yeah. So right now I'm 3-0. My uncle is 2-1. Bengals Panthers. Nothing much to talk about. The Bengals just absolutely obliterated the Panthers.
No, I'm sorry. You need to rephrase. Joe Mixon.
Oh, my bad. The Bengals. Yeah,
Joe Mixon obliterated the Panthers.
Yep.
It's messed up when one player gets you what? Aside from the extra points, when one player gets you 30, and no, let me rephrase. When a non-quarterback gets you 30, that's really all you need to know about the Panthers.
Yeah, the Panthers got to win this week and the Thursday night game, but they're a team that I'll go back to the Bears. They're a team that, hey, they had a chance to take him in the draft, but guess what? They passed on him.
Yep.
So, Bengals are rolling. Next game, yep. Lions versus Green Bay. My uncle was right about this one, and Detroit actually won. They made Aaron Rodgers throw 3 interceptions in one game. I haven't seen that since like early day Aaron Rodgers stuff right there.
Yep. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is trying to prove a point or if his wide receivers are just that bad. I think Dubes or Dobbs is hurt, and I think he wasn't
Yeah,
available.
guys were hurt, but there was instances, I guess, on the All-22, I guess from what I've been seeing, there were guys open. Aaron Rodgers just not seeing it. Again, people in the media throwing the thing that Aaron Rodgers it looks like he doesn't want to be there no more. It looks like he doesn't care about football anymore.
No. And that's why I say I don't know if it's an Aaron Rodgers trying to prove a point or if his receivers are just that bad.
I think it's Aaron Rodgers. I think he wants to
You really just don't know what to think. But at the same time, you really look at the Packers, and I know we're getting on something that we need to move on, but it's the Packers' fault, not Aaron Rodgers. The Packers was the one who signed him for damn near $50 million.
Yep.
When they should have just went on and traded him.
Yep.
And just started rebuilding. But that's never been the Packers' way.
Be honest, not pay Aaron Rodgers that big time money. Give some of that to Devontae Adams and keep both of them there, and maybe they don't have those issues.
No, I think Rodgers wanted that money. I don't know. I'm not going to sit up here and say I know, but it's easy for me to say, well, you know what? Hey, Aaron Rodgers wanted $50 million. He asked for $50 million. The Packers gave it to him. In that particular case, that's the Packers' fault. Packers probably should have, if the Packers was the one who did that, they're stupid. Instead of counteroffer and say, hey, we need to be able to keep you and Devontae. So let's sign you to, $30 million, and let's bring Devontae in at the other 20. But again, we really don't know. All we know is the Packers did give Rodgers that money, basically jacking up the rest of their roster. And now they don't have Gary, they don't have Dobbs, and everyone is losing confidence in everybody else. It's just but I love to see it, though.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully it stays like that for a long time.
Long time. Because just like we talked about at the beginning of the season, if you look at the quarterbacks and the doggone NFC North, the one team that's going to stand out head and shoulders above everybody else within the next 2 years is going to be the Chicago Bears with Justin Fields. And so far, we are dead spot on with that prediction.
Yep. My uncle took Detroit. I took Green Bay. So we're both 4-1.
Yep.
Patriots at Colts at Patriots. Patriots absolutely blew these guys out. It's so bad that they have Jim Irsay fires Frank Reich and then hires a former player, Jeff Saturday. Take that as you will.
We told you. We said that they're going to start rebuilding. I wouldn't be shocked if they just start shutting people down. Jonathan Taylor specifically. Now, I think he will play this week because they shut down Deion Jackson, his backup, to a knee injury. I don't know what they're going to do with Philip Lindsay. But, it's ugly in Indianapolis, and I can expect them to draft a quarterback. So I think they're tanking.
Yeah. I don't know if Jeff Saturday will be the full-time coach. I think he's only be the interim for just the remainder of the year. They'll hire somebody, I guess, unless Jeff Saturday wants to coach the team next year and he gives them good results.
Unless, for whatever reason, Jeff Saturday turns out to be a good coach.
Yeah. This whole Indianapolis Colts thing, it just goes back to Andrew Luck retirement. When he retired abruptly, it just messed them up.
They didn't expect it. They really didn't.
So, in a way, I guess you can somewhat kind of blame the downfall of the Colts on Andrew Luck to an extent. Yeah. Again, I can't blame the guy. He was always getting hit and everything, and he wanted to have a life to live, not in pain. I don't blame him.
Right. Kirk, I don't blame him either. I mean, there's a lot of football players over the years that just gotten tired of the pounding and decided to call it quits. So, so again, kudos to Andrew Luck. Granted, he did start a snowball effect in Indianapolis that they've been able to hide their issues here recently, but you can't find a quarterback, man.
Yeah,
it's it'll show. The flaws in your team are going to show if you don't have a good quarterback.
Yeah. Frank Reich, he's a good coach. So, if there's any other head coaching, I guess, firings, maybe they could potentially bring him in for an interview. But I think he'll probably just go back to being a offensive coordinator, build his resume back up again, and then become a head coach again. I think he's honestly a pretty solid head coach.
I think he's solid as well too. I mean, he shows he can run an offense, but just like with anything else, if you don't have that top guy at the number one spot, man, it's really difficult to run the things that you want to run. And I mean, Ryan couldn't do it. I mean, Wentz before him couldn't do it, and I'm pretty sure Sam Ehlinger won't be able to do it either. There's nothing that says he will be the guy moving forward. And again, I expect the Colts to shoot for that number one pick to try to get them a quarterback.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yep.
Next game. Probably the shocking game of the week. The Jets beat the Buffalo Bills.
I didn't expect that.
I guess
I really didn't expect that one.
Yeah.
Were they well, they wasn't in Buffalo.
They were in New Jersey.
Yeah. So I guess, just to talk about the game, I guess we should have expected it because, a team does play better when they're at home. But with the way the offense was playing and with the New York Jets, and the defense has been carrying them to all these wins, I just never expected the Jets defense would carry the Jets to a victory over the Bills.
Yep. And obviously the big talking point is Josh Allen. He got hurt. He has an UCL injury, which is pretty much predominantly in pitchers. When they have that UCL injury, they more than likely have to get Tommy John surgery. I'm guessing the Bills hope that he doesn't have to get Tommy John surgery. They're just letting it rest, probably having him sit out a few weeks. But the Bills are pretty much jeopardy right now because they were this loss not only affects them because they had won, they would still be maintaining for that first seed to get home field advantage to the playoffs.
Correct.
Now that's in jeopardy. And one, you lose your quarterback. You not only lost this game, you lost your quarterback. And I guess there was also a controversial PI call on Gabriel Davis, just like that Bears Dolphins game in this game. But at the end of the day, the Bills didn't beat a team that they should beat.
Well, I mean, also say the New York Jets is actually a really good football team. So I mean, that we kind of, I'm not going to simply say we knew it. We knew they were playing better. Yeah. But did we honestly know they were a really good football team? I think this says that they are a really good football team, that they can win the old-fashioned way. They can win the new way. They can pretty much play to the strengths and weaknesses of any football team in the league. So between Pete Carroll and Robert Saleh, they fight. For me, they're neck and neck in the Coach of the Year ballot. Yep.
We both picked the Bills that game. Right now, currently we're standing at 5-2. So yeah. The Vikings at the Washington Commanders. A back and forth game. Commanders blew a late lead. That Minnesota. They just barely escaped. The only big talking point I got out of this damn Minnesota game is Kirk Cousins dancing like a damn fool on the plane with just a chain.
See, this is the reason why I honestly think the Bears can get this division. I mean, it'll start with beating the Lions on Sunday, but this is the reason why I think the Bears can get this division. Nobody is really playing like they want the division, even though the Vikings have only lost, 2 games?
Yep.
They are not playing dominant football. They're not playing.
They only lost one game. One game. They're 7-1.
They're 7-1?
Yep.
They don't seem like it. And it just I don't see a 7-1 football team when I see the Vikings. I don't see one.
Yeah.
I think they've just been, ridiculously lucky. Now, granted, I'd rather be lucky than good, but in this particular case, they have squeaked out a lot of victories. So, and your good football teams do win ugly, but this division is still not theirs just yet.
Yeah. The only convincing win they probably have is probably that Packers win in week 1.
Yeah, and that's week 1.
Yeah.
And even then, they only scored, 23 points?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So they haven't been dominant. They've been good, but that also tells you the team in our division hasn't been very good.
Yep.
So I think the Bears in a position, they got to start with the Lions, though. The Bears in a good position where they can get this division because, again, the Vikings are not showing that they want it, or they're playing like they, from what I see, they're not playing good enough football to get it.
Yeah. Next game, Las Vegas Raiders versus the Jaguars.
Oh,
Jaguars ended up winning. If I were to tell you, at some point the Raiders were up like 20-3 or something like they were up big.
They were up 3 touchdowns, basically.
They
were up 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, they didn't score at all in the rest of the second half, and the Jaguars came back on them. If you're telling me the Raiders have hit rock bottom right then and there, now's where they hit rock bottom. I don't want to be shocked if Josh McDaniels gets fired right now. And it's funny enough with this whole stupid Elon Musk taking over Twitter and giving everybody their vacation, pretty much. I almost got fooled into a fake Adam Schefter account thinking that they actually did fire Josh McDaniels. But it doesn't matter. I think the point is, after the season's over, Josh McDaniels is getting fired unless Mark Davis is already done with him already and just going to fire him mid-season. But honestly, you might as well just fire him now. What else do you have to lose? And right now, you got Hunter Renfrow in IR. Darren Waller went to IR. You have Blake Martinez retire. It seems like nobody wants nobody else of Josh McDaniels up in there.
Yep. And, you brought Devontae Adams in for all of this money, gave David Carr all of these weapons. And I got to admit, David Carr had some weapons. Let's not make any bones about it. He had weapons coming into this year, and he's done squat with them.
He played better last year under John Gruden and Rick Bisaccia over this guy.
He played really well under Rick Bisaccia. So I got to admit, I mean, you can still ask yourself, what's the constant? The constant is David Carr. So you can say Derek he's Carr. The problem, but he didn't play this way last year.
Derek Carr? You mean Derek Carr?
Derek Carr, David Carr, it's a car. What do you want to know? But he didn't play this way last year after Bisaccia took over. So the Raiders are just the Raiders, man. It's
Yeah, they'll be getting another high draft pick and everything.
High draft pick.
Maybe they draft a quarterback just to create some quarterback controversy. Don't know.
Maybe.
But Raiders are in purgatory like they always have been.
Yep.
For the last few years, to be honest.
Yep.
They're always that team where I look at them on paper, I'm like, they could be a promising team, up and coming team. And then the season comes. And then
the Darren Waller IR thing really is upsetting to me.
Him and Renfrow went to IR.
Yeah, I mean it's really upsetting me because Carr's safety blanket and Renfrow, they're both his safety blanket. So now that puts more of an onus upon Devontae Adams to perform. I think he had 17 targets last game. But now when there's no other place in which to go with the football, defenses can adjust to that. So so we'll see. But the problems is on both sides of the ball. Offense played great in the first half, horrible in the second half. The defense played, great in the second half, horrible in the second half. So it's just bad.
Arizona versus Seattle. Seattle pretty much handled Arizona like they've been. Again, Seattle's been one of the more shocking teams. I still remember my preseason week 2 video. I said Seattle's going to be dog crap. And then next thing you know, I'm looking at Seattle now. I'm like, well, I regret saying those words because Seattle.
And we say the same. And we were just like, okay, come on now. How can you sit up here and tell me as Geno Smith is your number 1 quarterback that you'll be able to survive in the NFC West?
Well, when you got the Rams sucking, 49ers
everybody else sucking is not Seattle's problem.
I know. And then you got the 49ers, even though they have a really good team. One, I think they lost Jason Verrett to Achilles injury, so another defensive player's out for them. And then you got a quarterback that is average, if not below average at best, in Jimmy Garoppolo. So
but they're winning.
Yeah.
So, and now they're here in Munich this weekend. So,
I'm in a good game to see if you could make it.
I'm really, really I'm really interested in seeing how the Buccaneers are going to play now that Brady's divorce is final.
Yeah.
So that's something that's going to be interesting to watch. And then how Seattle has been playing over the last few weeks. When you first saw it on the schedule, it was like, man, the Buccaneers going to blast them. So, but no, this is actually turning out to be a pretty good matchup. So, just hate the fact that I got my tickets taken away from me because of 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Shame on you, NFL.
Right now our record apiece is 8-2. Next game, Tampa Bay versus Rams. I think it's gonna break the tiebreaker.
Oh, we both picked the Jaguars.
Yeah, we both picked the Jaguars. We both took Seattle. The Tampa Bay Rams game is gonna break the tiebreaker. You're gonna end up winning this week.
Because I went with that dude, man.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, even this game, for all purposes, it was an ugly game, between both teams' offenses.
That's true.
The Rams, I'm just being honest, the Rams look like they have hit rock freaking bottom. And I don't know if there's any late surge that they can have at the end of the year, going to the back half of the season, that could save them, because their offense looks absolutely anemic.
Yeah.
Like, their offensive line is absolutely piss poor. It's like when Andrew Whitworth just upped and retired, their line just got terrible. And again, I just want to make the mention, I'm a Bears fan, but they say the Bears offensive line was going to be the worst offensive line. And I'm looking at all these others. I'm looking at the Rams. Their line looks god awful.
Yep.
They can't run the ball. They can't pass the ball. And even when they pass the ball, freaking, we have Matthew Stafford always locking in on Cooper Kupp. And then the defense, it's still pretty stout, but it's not what it once was. You know, a year ago, they lost Von Miller. You know,
they can't get to the quarterback. They play more zone than they do man, as opposed to what they did last year. The receivers, other than Cooper Kupp, well, now keep in mind, now they did have Odell Beckham Jr., who took a lot of that pressure off of Cooper Kupp and kept him from getting double teamed a lot. So him getting hurt in the Super Bowl, that was a big problem for the Rams moving forward, because now they don't have that second receiver to take the pressure off of Kupp. So, but Brady, man, people can say whatever the heck they want about Tom Brady. He's a cheater, this way. I've heard it all. I'm sorry. This dude is the best quarterback I've ever seen. Y'all can say whatever y'all want. Hate me, I don't care. I've heard it all. But when you watch that final drive and how he picked apart that defense and threw to a rookie tight end, to a rookie tight end touchdown. I'm sorry. I
thought the Buccaneers were going to lose when Scotty Miller dropped that wide open slant.
Yep, I thought so too.
So,
but again, Brady is just, y'all can say what y'all want. This dude, that last drive was just masterful. It was. I mean, now granted, the defense gave up everything underneath and Brady took it like he's supposed to, but he knew that with 40-some seconds on the clock, the only thing that's the enemy is the clock itself. And as long as that clock is not moving, we good. So let's hit these sidelines up and dink and dunk and get first downs just so I can get close to get us in the end zone.
Yep.
Brady's the best. Just Brady is the best. And that's why I said earlier, I'm really interested to see how they move forward with this now that his divorce is final. Because I think now that there's some completion and some closure to that, he might be able to focus a little bit more on football, to take his mind off his troubles. If there are any troubles, I don't know. But most times when your mind is free and clear, man, you can play some amazing football. I'm just amazed at Tom Brady.
Yeah. Only other thing I would say about the Rams, I don't know why they were playing that soft defense like that, but their loss, not mine.
They were trying to, keep in mind, they still have some really good speed on the field.
Yep.
Evans and Miller, they can still take the top off of the defense. So, yeah, give them the underneath routes, and it was only 40-something seconds, but what they should have did was give them the underneath, but the underneath in the middle of the field.
Yep.
Not, inside the numbers instead of outside the numbers. So that was just, again, Brady, what can I tell you? He saw what they were doing and took advantage of it.
Yep. The Sunday night game last week was the Tennessee Titans versus the Chiefs. It looked like the Titans were going to pull off the upset, and they were up fairly big. But after that, they really didn't do much because they were limited with their rookie quarterback Malik Willis. Looked like the
Yep.
moment was a little bit too much for him, and when the Chiefs started chipping away at the lead, you could tell like the Titans need a response drive, but they are not doing anything on the ball. And the Chiefs are playing that whole defense at that point in the game. Well, all right, let's just sell out on Derrick Henry. Let's make this Malik Willis dude be a passer. And he just
Throw
couldn't.
8-9 in the box, just like we talked about before. Throw 8-9 in the box and make Malik Willis throw the ball.
And he couldn't really do it. And then when the pressure came to him, done. By the time the Chiefs tied the game, you could already tell, oh, yeah, the Tennessee Titans losing this game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If they can't hand the ball off the Derrick Henrys, that's the Achilles heel of the Titans.
Yeah, and then it also doesn't help the fact that the Titans absolutely have no receivers, which again questions the fact why the hell would you trade away AJ Brown for like free? He enjoyed it so much. AJ Brown was tweeting about how much the Tennessee Titans look like they could use him right now.
I don't think AJ wanted to be there. I really don't think he wanted to be there. They show no interest in improving the quarterback position. They show no interest in using Derrick Henry as a decoy to throw the football. All they wanted to do was Derrick Henry left, Derrick Henry right for 30 to 35 times a game. And Brown was just like, dude, you got more weapons than that. Let's use them all. You got the best weapon in football because Derrick Henry by far is the best weapon in football if he's utilized correctly. But they didn't want to. They wanted to stick with Tannehill, and Brown was probably I don't know for sure. It just seemed like to me that Brown was just like, I don't want to be here. Forget it. I'm a receiver. I'm gonna go to someplace where they throw the football.
Yep. The Monday night game. That win alone ties has the Chiefs, I think, tied with the Bills right now for number 1 seed. And But the fact that the Bills have Josh Allen down, that's not good for them. Nope. Last week's Monday night was the Baltimore Ravens versus the Saints. Nothing to say here. Baltimore wins the game. I only watched like the first drive of the game for both. I think the Ravens offense and then the defense just to see how Roquan looked. But other than that, I didn't pay attention to this game. The Baltimore Ravens had their way with the Saints. The Saints looked like they need to draft a quarterback themselves too.
Yeah.
Otherwise, because one, Jameis always gets hurt. And then two, as Bears fans, we already knew Andy Dalton's not that dude.
Yeah.
So what's the point?
Yeah. And then on top of the week before, they threw the ball with him like 45 plus times or something like that. And the Saints were successful. I guess they thought they had something in their hands with Andy Dalton. But we're just like, yeah, okay. All right. Well, no. Now, Baltimore got their own troubles moving forward, too, now. I mean, no Rashad Bateman.
Yeah.
No Mark Andrews. So the defense and Lamar Jackson is going to have to carry them. And hopefully Lamar Jackson is healthy whenever Andrews comes back.
Yeah.
Bateman's out for the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was for week 9. So let's get into week 10. Falcons and Panthers happened. Panthers pretty much had their way with the Falcons. I'm guessing that the Falcons didn't play particularly well. And let's be honest, the Falcons have been playing like at least a solid team. I'm not saying that they're like a great team, but they're a solid team that you would think they would win this game. But you have to remember the last time they played like 2 weeks ago, the Panthers would have won if not for DJ Moore's stupid self. And the Falcons escaped that game, so they go to Carolina and they absolutely get blasted. Simple as that. So with whatever pressure they wanted to put on the NFC South for the Buccaneers to try to win because they're struggling, well, that's not going to happen now. So that's it. We didn't give a pick because the game's already over, so I'm not going to count this on anything.
Well, the Panthers beat the Falcons at their own game, man. Deonta Freeman had he had 30 carries for about 130 yards. I mean, the Falcons' way of winning football is to run. And then when they couldn't run, and tried to give the ball to Marcus Mariota to make plays in the air, and he just ain't that good of a quarterback in order to do it. Just end the doggone thing and just hand the ball to Desmond Ridder, and let's see whether he can take them.
Yeah. All right. Detroit versus the Chicago Bears. I'm gonna go with Chicago this game because should be a winnable game for them. I'll be shocked if they lose, but the way Justin Fields has been playing as of late and the way the offense has been playing, gives me a vote of confidence that they should do good. Again, the defense is going to be a question mark to see how much they're going to affect the Lions offense, but with the fact that the Lions have a very bad defense, I think the Bears offense should take advantage of that. Potentially could be another shootout game, but we'll see. I got the Bears winning, and I'll give them a touchdown score. A touchdown.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I think first of all, the game is in Chicago, so that should be a indicator, a good sign that the Bears should do well. My only problem is, hopefully the Bears, especially Justin Fields, aren't reading the newspaper clippings talking about how great Justin Fields is. We done found our guy and everything like that. So I'm fearful of that. So after the first quarter, we'll probably see if the Bears don't have that, newspaper and jinx after one particular player has a great game. We have to realize that the Bears lost last week. They lost last week, and hopefully they can use that to come back and beat Detroit. I think they will.
Yeah, I think the Bears should beat Detroit. Justin Fields, the last game he played, the Detroit Lions was, I believe, week 4. After that week 3 obliteration, he played particularly really well in that game against the Lions there. So I think he's gonna be good for another game here. Again, we'll see. The next game in Europe, the Munich game, the game that my uncle wanted to go to but missed out on it, is the Seattle
4 seconds.
Seattle Seahawks.
Lost my ticket for 4 seconds.
That would have been a good game for you.
That would have been a great game for me. I had everything already winning. Just to go ahead, and I'm gonna let everyone know. The reason why I'm saying 4 seconds is because I purchased my tickets for these games, and I thought I had tickets. Come to find out, the NFL took the tickets from me because a person had purchased their tickets 4 seconds before me, but my ticket got processed.
Yeah.
So they were highly apologetic, and yes, they refunded my money, giving the tickets to the other person. So
the NFL did speak about having several more Munich games. I did see that report. So
yeah. I mean, I think Munich is going to be a thing. Frankfurt is another one, which is about an hour, maybe an hour and a half away from where I live. So Frankfurt would be better because it's closer. And I'm highly familiar with Frankfurt. Munich is nice. Don't get me wrong. We just came back there from Oktoberfest, so it's really nice. But man, it would have been really great to see this game specifically because I think Brady's on the upswing as playing better as a quarterback, and also the Seattle Seahawks are leading the NFC West. So it's going to be a really good game. One that I'm,
yeah, this game's gonna be tough for me to choose because Tampa Bay's got a really solid defense, a really good defense. They've been playing better as of late. But still that offense still struggles so much. And they've just been playing very shockingly. So
Seattle, while you're thinking about it, Seattle has played good, yes. But that's basically because of the ground game of the Seahawks with Kenneth Walker III.
Yeah.
That kid is electric. So if they can bottle that kid up, I honestly think they can give Geno Smith some problems defensively because the defense over the past few weeks have played well. It's the offense that has not done much. But I honestly think, again, the Buccaneers are on the upswings. I'm going to pick Tampa Bay to win this game. I'm going to pick Brady to have a really good game against a pretty average Seattle defense. And I honestly think the Tampa Bay defense will be able to bottleneck that running game up so Brady can do his thing.
I think I'm just gonna go with my gut. I think Seattle can beat Tampa Bay. I just like what I'm seeing from them. So I'm buying.
They can, but in games like this, when you're just like, you got to go with the better quarterback. And granted, Geno Smith is really playing really good football. He fits well into what Carroll wants to do and what they want to do with their system. But in the end, I just like to go with. I just gotta go with the better quarterback. And for me, I don't care what Brady has been through. He is the better quarterback in this matchup.
Yeah. I'm going with Seattle. My uncle's going with Tampa
Okay.
Bay.
All right.
Next game. Minnesota versus the Buffalo Bills.
Oh,
I'm gonna go with Minnesota, even though they're at Buffalo, because even though we made a mention earlier, they have not had convincing wins. Josh Allen's gonna be out for this game. I'm more than
who's the
likely
who's the quarterback playing for Buffalo?
Case Keenum. Yeah.
We know about him too.
Um,
Oh boy.
yeah,
Uh, is it
Minnesota should win. I'll give them a 2-score win. They should go into Buffalo and
a
win.
2-score win in Buffalo?
How about this? 10-point game, 10-point win. 10-point win?
It's still double digits. You expect the Minnesota Vikings, who's been skating by week after week after week, to
Yeah.
go into Buffalo and
Yeah.
win by double digits?
Yeah, because that's how much lack of faith I don't trust in the Buffalo offense led by Case Keenum. They can't run the ball. Josh Allen is their runner.
I don't want to sit that T. I don't want to sit that T, nephew. So I'm gonna stick with Buffalo at home.
Okay.
Is it a hold on, what time are they playing?
10 a.m. game.
And it's not I'm gonna stay with Buffalo. I'm gonna stay with Buffalo.
All right.
I'm not sold on the Vikings yet. If I lose, I lose, but I'm not sold on the Vikings. So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Buffalo.
Okay. The next game is the Denver Broncos versus the Tennessee Titans. Both these teams suck, and I don't like any one of these teams, but I gotta choose somebody.
First of all, who's at home?
Tennessee. Tannehill, they did say he's questionable to come back. I think I'm gonna go with the home team here, just from the standpoint. I think the offense is slightly better, but that's not saying much. Because I don't know what to expect out of the Broncos offense. I don't know if they're gonna explode or if they're just gonna have the mellow game where they don't do anything. So I'm just gonna go with the home team because I think the Titans defense, they played really good. Like if you hold the Chiefs to 20 points, that should win you a dang ball game. Your offense got to score more points than 17 points. So I think they should honestly beat Denver. So I'm going with Tennessee.
I think I'm gonna go Denver. I like the last game that Denver played. It gave me just a little bit of insight on where they're moving as an offense. And I know we're short on time, so I'm gonna make this really quick so we can probably take a pause and finish the whole thing out. But I'm gonna go Denver, and not granted it'll probably be a field goal, but in a low scoring game, but I'm gonna go Denver at home.
All right. We'll be back real quick, guys. It'll just be a quick cut, but we'll be back real quick for more of the predictions. All right, we're back with discussing the rest of our predictions for this week. After Denver and Tennessee, the next game is the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm gonna go Kansas City this game, just from the standpoint they're not only at home. Even though the Raiders did lose to the Jaguars, they got out to a 20-0 lead to start the first half. I would expect Kansas City, even though they have been inconsistent as of late. They should be up maybe 2-3 scores up early in this game, probably. Again, we'll see how good the Jacksonville offense is, but I'm gonna go with Kansas City just because of the better team.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kansas City. I'm gonna go with Kansas City. They're at home. If the Jaguars was playing the Chiefs last week and the Chiefs was up 20-3 at the half, I think the Chiefs would have beat them 40-3. I just, I think the thrill is gone this time.
Yeah. Next game. It's the Browns at the Miami Dolphins. I'm gonna go at Miami because they're going to be at home, and then again that humidity. I don't know how hot it's going to be in Miami, but that humidity, it can get to a cold weather team like Cleveland. Um, I think Miami, they obviously have to work better on the defense side of the ball, but really there's nothing on that Browns offense. Like if it was Deshaun Watson playing, okay, maybe there's a case to be made, but Jacoby Brissett, even though he's been solid, he hasn't been transcended. I don't think I think the Dolphins defense should be at least solid enough to stop Jacoby Brissett because he can't really run. And then again, their offense is just again on fire. Again, we all say that Tua can't throw the ball down the field, but if he gets good looks, hey, just dink and dunk, I guess you can say, run the slants, something. But I got Miami winning.
Well, I think Miami will win as well too. I think like 3-1, 4-1, or something like that at home. The Browns have been an utter disappointment from everything to everything that's been happening with Deshaun Watson to, the offense can't put any points on the board. Defense has been doing as best it possibly can, to keep, the Browns from being blown out. But, and the X factor for me this game is going to be Jeff Wilson Jr. When he came in for the Dolphins last week, and he spelled some time for Raheem Mostert. So I think he's going to be the X factor. Whenever they get down the field, I can see Tua dumping down a few passes to Wilson, and but I don't really foresee this being a close game because the Browns can't score.
Yeah. Next game, it's the Houston Texans versus the Giants. The Giants should win at home. Nothing else.
They coming off a bye.
Yeah.
So yeah, they should win at home easily.
Yeah. Yeah, they should win. They should win. So you're taking New York?
I'm taking the Giants.
All right. Oh God, another game I'm not looking forward to. New Orleans versus Pittsburgh.
Ooh. Where is it at?
Pittsburgh.
Just basically because it's at home, I'll go with the Steelers.
Really? Even though they haven't looked impressive?
No, yeah. But then again, the Saints haven't looked really good either.
That is true. I'm going to go with the Saints, even though they're on the road. I know Andy Dalton, you can't really trust Andy Dalton, but no. I think he's the more.
And the Pittsburgh defense isn't bad. It's their offense that's stinking up to.
This game could go down to a field goal. I just think Andy Dalton's a more experienced quarterback, even with Pittsburgh's really tough defense. I just think that New Orleans defense, it's still pretty solid. It's still pretty solid, and I think they'll do what they can to get to Kenny Pickett and throw off his game. But, and isn't this the first week that they don't have Chase Claypool? So it could be interesting to see how an offense without Chase Claypool will look like. Now, I know he didn't do much of anything for the Steelers this year, but he did come out in, press conferences saying, they put me out of position. They put me more in the slot than the outside receiver.
Yeah. I talked to a buddy of mine this week, and he says the issue with the Steelers is their offensive coordinator. Matt Canada. The offensive coordinator, Matt Canada. His ways of playing calls is prehistoric. His term, not mine. And when you have weapons such as these, you really need to open it up. And he just doesn't seem like he knows how to do that. So, but be that as it may, the Pittsburgh Steelers defense is going up against a journeyman quarterback without, two of their best wide receivers, because I don't think obviously Michael Thomas has been IR'd, and that's, to me, that puts a huge burden on a rookie to try to carry the load. And I just don't think Pittsburgh. I don't think New Orleans will be able to win this game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another game that good.
Yep.
Have mercy. What I need to see what time this game is at. It's one of these
the Colts and Raiders.
And it's one of these late games too.
It's one of the later games, yeah. It's actually the first late game. So you'll have to wait about 30. You have to take this game for about 30 minutes before the next one comes on.
Colts and Raiders playing.
Colts and Raiders. I'm gonna just let you go. I'm gonna just sit back and let you do. Because before I would cut you off, be like, let me get my pick in. I'm not gonna do that. We talking about basically the two worst teams in football.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go with the Dame. Right. They're at home. They should be the better team than the Colts. With the way the Colts been playing as of late, they should be the better team. But I wouldn't be shocked if the Colts somehow find a way to get a W here.
They should be. They should be. And I'll say the Raiders as well. Just simply from the standpoint that they've had their coach all year long. They've had their quarterback all year long, and they haven't made any drastic changes. They're just staying the course to play football. Whereas the coach, they're just pretty much changing every doggone thing. They're getting hurt every week. There seems to be some type of new drama and unfolding every week. And now it's Jeff Saturday, who's never coached a day in his life, from what I understand. And Colts are tanked.
Now, if the Raiders lose this game, I don't care. Fire Josh McDaniels immediately on Sunday afternoon or Sunday.
Well, I mean, the Colts are tanking. If he loses this game, I can say if McDaniels lose this game, then yeah, you might want to pull the trigger on him, letting him go, because obviously the Colts are tanking. Yeah. The Colts are playing for the number 1 pick.
Yeah. Next game, because they've been promoting this since like 3 weeks ago. Holy hell. If anything I hate about Fox Sports is when they promote the Cowboys. It's already bad enough every time I listen to Skip and Shannon. They always talk about the Cowboys. And then all the time they always talk about Green Bay. Fox always hypes up these games. They had this game up like a week in advance before the game's even coming out. I'm like, why? Whatever.
I mean, come on now. There's 2 of the older franchises in the NFL. You got the Cowboys. And obviously you got the Green Bay Packers, one of the oldest franchises in the NFL as well, too. So, I mean, yeah, and historically, these teams, when they play each other, they're decently good when they're on national television. So,
Packers should be a bloodbath.
Yeah, I think, not me personally, I don't care for either one of them.
Yep.
I don't care for either one of them. But if I had my druthers, I would love to see the Cowboys put a 40 spot on the Packers.
I hope so.
I would love to see a 40 spot. So I'm going to say the Cowboys, and I'm going to say total domination. The Cowboys should go into Lambeau and win by 2 touchdowns.
They should. They should.
I
hope they drop 40 points on them, because that's what I expected.
They drop 42.
That's what I expected with the Bills to do against the Packers, but they didn't do that. And I was like, are you serious?
Well, the Packers defense ain't bad. Yeah. Ain't bad. Even without Rashawn Gary, they ain't bad. They still potentially got the best cornerback in the league in Jair Alexander. So I can see him manning up on CeeDee Lamb. But the Cowboys should still dominate this football game. The defense is better. The offense is better. I mean, you can say that Dak Prescott at this particular moment in Aaron Rodgers' career is a better quarterback. The wide receivers are better on the Dallas side of the football. Everything is better on Dallas' side of the football. So everything exclaims ass whooping.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So I'll go with what my eyes are telling me. So I think the Cowboys should go up in there and just beat the holy hell out of the Packers. Mainly because that's what I would like to see.
I don't want to be shocked if the Cowboys somehow find a way to lose this game, though.
Because they're the Cowboys. Cowboys, man. Come on now. Got to say that. But
yeah. Next game, Arizona versus the Rams. Last time these 2 teams played, the Rams handled their business and beat up on the Cardinals. I expect more of the same. You already got Kyler Murray already yelling out at DeAndre Hopkins now. Looks like something's not working over there. I'm watching a clip of Buda Breaker. He's crying to the dang locker room saying, I didn't play this just to lose to the Seattle Seahawks. And I'm just like laughing it up because it's comedy gold. Because I'm like, I understand, but I looked at all the other freaking Arizona players as Buda Baker was talking. They looked like they gave no Fs.
Yeah.
So I think the Rams are just going to win. They might escape this game. I don't care. The Rams offense hasn't been good. I think the defense will do fine. It is. Cardinals, they'll just try to keep themselves in the game, but they're going to lose.
Yeah, you pretty much said. I mean, this is another one of them Colts Raiders type games for me. So who's the home team?
The Rams, but can you really deem the Rams to have the home team? Because
I'll go. I would just go with the home team because neither one of these teams are actually. They're bleeding. They're bleeding, and it's just a matter of time before one of them just simply just gives up. So honestly, I think the Rams, who has the better defense, will probably come out and play the better football, and I think they'll win.
Yeah,
I'll go with the Rams.
Yeah, even though the Rams are the home team, there you got weather fans there because no fans show up to their games.
Yeah, ULA fans are fickle, man. Y'all, because of all the back and forth moving, you have a team that'll leave and a team that'll come in and another team that'll leave and then another team will come back.
Well, the problem is there's more Raider fans than 49er fans out here, especially in Southern California, because there was no football team in LA.
Correct.
For the longest time.
So now you got two of them, and one of them won the Super Bowl. The other team came in with Super Bowl hopes, and now neither one of them, it doesn't look like it's going to be any good. So
yeah.
Speaking
on the other LA team, the Chargers have the Sunday night football game against the San Francisco 49ers. It's in San Francisco. I think the San Francisco 49ers should have their way with the Chargers. The Chargers defense has not been impressive. Like, if you're getting into a battle against the freaking Atlanta Falcons, like, I understand the Falcons are playing good, but they're not that good, especially if they're losing to the Panthers.
Especially with Marcus Mariota as your quarterback.
Yeah.
But I think the Chargers will play a little bit better than what we think. I think what they saw out of Christian McCaffrey last week, I think that was a good thing for the Chargers because now you can honestly see how the 49ers intend to use Christian McCaffrey. So use him as a jackknife of all trades. So I think they can prepare for that, but in the end, the 49ers should still win.
Yeah.
But I think long term, I'm not really crazy about the 49ers. They still don't have that one back they can just hand the ball off to, 25 times a game. So I think that's going to probably wind up being their undoing instead of just having all these players that can do multiple things. And, but for this week and this week only, I think the 49ers can beat the Chargers.
Yeah, and then plus for the Chargers offense, they're out Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, I believe, still.
Yep.
So
yep. And Austin Eckler coming in questionable too. So
Monday night game. I love how they have these Thursday night and Monday night games, and they put like the worst team combinations. This past Thursday was Atlanta versus Carolina.
And you can't tell me that the NFL honestly thought these two teams were going to be really good matchups when they first made the schedule. You can't tell me that. So again, that's what I think they try to do. They just
they always wonder why the Thursday night game ratings are always low because you put on these piss poor teams.
Put these piss poor teams together.
I'd rather just you just do away with the Thursday night football and just be done with it.
Well, I'm pretty sure the players would enjoy it too, but at the same time, from a rating standpoint,
I'd say they only do. Say that
ABC didn't want it, ESPN didn't want it, and now it's Amazon who's got them.
Yep.
I don't even think the televisions want them because again they're putting together these piss poor teams, and no one wants to see.
Yeah. Well, at this point, it's only about the money.
Yeah, the Texans. No one wants to see the piss poor teams in the league. You can't. And then coming into this year, you can't honestly tell me you honestly thought that Carolina and Atlanta would be two of the better teams in the league when you make the schedule. Come on now. Let's be honest. It's just a money grab Thursday night, and yeah, they should probably do away with it.
But as I was saying, this Monday night game, it's the Washington Commanders versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
Are they in Philly?
Yeah. They played earlier in Washington this season. And the game's in Philly.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. Even though Philadelphia 8-0, they don't give me 8-0 vibes. I mean, Philadelphia has struggled with Jacksonville. They've struggled with the Texans. They've struggled. They have struggled with certain teams. They should have just outright obliterated. And here comes the Commanders, a division rival. And this is the second game that they played against each other. So I would expect the Commanders to come in with a little bit more preparation and the Philadelphia to come in with a little bit more ego. So it's right for the taking. But I mean, I still think Philadelphia will win. I just don't think it's going to be, the massive butt whooping that people expect.
Yeah, I'm going Philadelphia. I think it could be a blowout. That's just me.
Mm-hmm. Nah, now that Commanders defense is not bad.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
It really is not bad. It really isn't bad at all. That front four is really good, and that front four can stop the run. You can't run up the middle. You pretty much have to, but that's where Philadelphia will probably try to get them. Try to run the ball outside the numbers with Miles Sanders. Maybe do some bootlegs too with Jalen Hurts, get him on the move and things of that nature. So, but just keep in mind that defense is really good in Washington, and they will keep the game close. But I still think in the long run, Philadelphia should pull out the win.
Yep. Well, that's our week 9 recap, week 10 predictions. Yep. Again, we'll be back next week to give our recap of week 10 and then predictions for week 11. But if you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on the scores and everything that's going on in NFL, as well as hit the subscribe button to get more Camp 15 Talk Sports content. We'll be back tomorrow on the channel discussing Bears versus Lions game recap in its entirety, giving our thoughts, hopefully on a Bears win. But other than that, hopefully. But other than that, we're gonna catch you guys in the next video. Till then, guys, stay safe and have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Later.